What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld Podcast. And as we finish up Week 10, it was a wild and outrageous finish with the Broncos and the Bills. A lot of us thought that the Broncos were just going to go ahead and lay down and, eventually they would bench Russell Wilson and we'd just move on into the daylight. But it didn't work out like that last night. Apparently, the Bills suck. And I wasn't aware of this. I don't know if you guys were aware of this. The Bills are not good at football. They've been continuously just losing to teams that they're supposed to beat. And this is what's interesting about this, right? We knew the Denver Broncos had good defense, and, pretty much that was what was going to drive them. The concerns was Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson is actually playing a lot better. Now, look, he got sacked 4 times, right? He had a QBR of 81, passer rating of 117. He threw for 193, had 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He made a lot of clutch plays. Now, to be honest with you guys, Denver pretty much was dominating the game 15-8 going into the half. When I say dominate, I know it's only 7 points, but it's the way that they were playing. It's kind of like, what is going on? Because you're expecting, the Bills to be a little bit better. Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, big arm, all these completion percentages, it's a lot that goes into it. And then when you start to look at it, right? Gabe Davis was the #1 receiver for the Bills last night. 56 yards. Kincaid, 51 yards. Stephon Diggs, 34 yards. What is going on? This is what I would like to know. What exactly is going on? Because if you can't utilize those key players, and remember, last year in the playoffs, what happened with Stephon Diggs? You remember how he was acting? He was acting weird, and then he's posting stuff on Instagram. All this stuff that's going on, and now it's looking really, really bad. Now, again, like I said, Denver's defense is what drives them, so I'm not surprised about the way that they stifle them, but it's still very concerning. It's like, you're supposed to still be, a contender in that whole, going to the playoffs, winning a Super Bowl thing. Why is this such a huge drop-off? Okay, now one of the bright things that I saw from last night was James Cook, 109 yards on 12 carries. That's huge. All right, if Josh Allen is able to not have a QBR of 27 and the passer rating of 59, the Bills actually easily win this game. Now, his late, run-in touchdown, everybody was motivated. I knew they were going to lose, and I'm going to tell you why. Offensively, they were moving the ball a lot easier. Now, look, let me just go ahead and, be very, very clear. It's not like they had a dynamic performance. You know what I'm saying? Cortland Sutton had 53 yards. Perrine had 35. Jerry Jeudy had 35 yards. It's not like they were doing anything spectacular, but Russell Wilson was making the right decisions. And this is what happens, right? When you play a trash team, like the Denver Broncos have been showing us that they're on a 3-game winning streak, but at the beginning of the season, when you would look at that team, you would look at it and say, where is the talent, right? We didn't really see anything crazy, but we just knew, if you were watching the game, the feel of it, that they were going to be able to get down there and get a walk-off field goal. So I'm very concerned with the Buffalo Bills right now. And if I'm a Buffalo Bill fan, if I'm thinking bro, the Bills, I'm kind of panicking right now. Because I don't know what this team is, and I don't know what the drop-off, I don't know exactly, what they're doing wrong. Because when you look at it, the players are out there. Stephon Diggs, you're supposed to be him. You know what I'm saying, bro? You can't be getting locked up. Bruh, they won't let me out. Bro, what are you doing, dude? Dude is getting boxed, okay? 3 receptions on 5 targets. Now, look, remember back in the day, right, when there was a star player, no matter who was on the other side, it's like Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders. You're going to still try to get the ball to Jerry Rice. Deion Sanders is the greatest quarterback of all time. You're going to still give him his targets. Nowadays, when a player is supposed to be dominant, like PS2, the player, do you guys notice that the quarterbacks just don't look at their star receiver? I don't know if it's a new trend that's going on, but people are scared. Back in the day, even with Revis, right? You would avoid Revis, but if you had a star player, with the exception of Calvin Johnson, because for some reason he just completely boxed Calvin, and that's true. It's a very go look it up. Bro, I watched it live. It was nasty. But again, you still target your star receivers. How are you supposed to be considered a star receiver if you can't get open, regardless of who you're playing against? And you got a guy like Josh Allen with a big arm, mobile. He should be able to get outside the pocket and make plays. Very, very disappointed in the Buffalo Bills. All right, just extremely. That was an absolute joke. Now, we're going to talk about the Denver Broncos because, in all honesty, I was extremely wild on them to start the season. All right? And now out of nowhere, they're in a 3-game winning streak. So I'm all right, listen, we got to go ahead and reassess the situation and try to figure out what's going on. they're not doing anything major. They're just starting to win close games to where their defense is taking control. And when Russell Wilson has to do something, when he has to scramble, when he has to do whatever, throw a dot, he's making those plays. How far can this team possibly go? If you're asking me honestly, based on what I saw yesterday, this team, if they play like this and win these close games, definitely going to make the playoffs. If they could finish up the season playing like this, and their defense plays like this, and then they could just make, throws here and there, doesn't this give you like a reminiscent feeling of like Tim Tebow? You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, it's like late in the game, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, they're going to win the game. It's like, dude, it was a really weird feeling when I saw Josh Allen run into the end zone and he left them that time in the fourth. I just felt like, yo, this is about to be Tebow mania. And Russell Wilson went out there and did it. Now, the type of football that they're playing, right? Jerry Jeudy got a lot of heat. Dudes were saying he was garbage. Like, I don't know what was going on. He made a key catch late in this game, though. So, and he was perfect. 3 targets, 3 receptions. He was done. Cortland Sutton seems to be the number 1 receiver right now. He got 11 targets, caught 8. What is going to happen, though, when you play like it's a nip-tuck game, right? Can Russell Wilson scramble, make a play here and there in these quarters to keep the game close, and then at the end, do what he does? Can he actually do that? That's going to be winning football later, because obviously in the playoffs, everything is just like, yo, we're locking down this side of the field, and you're not going to do anything. Can they actually do this? Because I know it's disgusting for the game, like 24-22. Like, it's not really exciting, but this is playoff football, the way that they're playing. And I'm telling you right now, Sean Payton, I don't think he's a good coach. Let me rephrase that. I believe Drew Brees made him what he was when he was with the New Orleans Saints. That's my opinion. That's just, Drew Brees, even with his noodle arm, like, he did what he had to do to make that man look good. That is my opinion, okay? I'm not giving Sean Payton any credit for what happened last night. Just so you guys know, like, I'm very consistent with what I, believe when I'm looking at these games. This is just a whole nother style that they made certain plays and it happened because they could have easily lost this game. It was just that certain things went in their favor. That late penalty, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, pass interference, holding, whatever, dude, like, that is what won them the game, if we're being honest. So it came down to that. As far as like anything spectacular about changes with the game, I don't really know what Sean Payton is, because he's supposed to be, remember, an offensive guru, right? There's nothing offensively guru about what we're watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, he's never been known like as like, yo, I'm a defense. Like, he's always been an offensive guy. So his offense was 193 yards, and that was it for Russell Wilson. Run game wasn't really crazy with Javonte Williams. So until they start doing things where they're scoring at a higher clip, I'm not really on this whole Sean Payton thing. So I don't want to hear it from you Bronco fans. All right. But I do believe that whatever they're doing and whatever they're practicing is starting to come together to where they're able to actually win games, these type of close games against decent teams. Now, I don't know where Buffalo stands. After they beat Miami early, I thought that they were formidable. I do believe that they do have, some type of skill factor, but whatever they're doing has to stop now. Because if they continue this, they might not even win the AFC East. It might end up being the Dolphins division, to be honest. Like, they're playing like garbage. This is absolutely embarrassing what's going on. So, my opinion is this, bro. I'm off Buffalo. Obviously, they're not winning any Super Bowls this year. The Patriots suck in that division. The Jets suck. So I'm going to go ahead and just concede it to the Miami Dolphins. With the Denver Broncos, I have to see a little bit more. Kudos to them on winning 3 games straight. We'll see how it works out going forward. But again, Sean Payton has not put his stamp offensively on this team, so I'm not ready to write home about this win. All right? The Buffalo Bills suck. You guys have a great day. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.